कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद् अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, Text number 10. Dravya bhuyo varenapas turiyam jagrurhurmalam tasu budvidaphenabhyam drishtam tadharati kshipan. Dravya bhuyo varenapas turiyam jagruhurmalam tasu budvidaphenabhyam drishtam tadharati kshipan. Dravya bhuyo varenapas तुरीयं जगृहुर्मलं तासु बुद्बुदफेनाभ्यां दृष्टं तद्धरति क्षिपन्
भूयो वरेणापाः तुर्यं जग्रहुर्मलं तासु बुद्बुद्फेनाभ्यां दृष्टं तद्धरति क्षिपन् भूयो वरेणापाः तुरीयं जग्रहुर्मलं तासु बुद्बुद्फेनाभ्यां दृष्टं तद्धरति क्षिपन्
द्रव्य other things bhuyah of increasing varena by the benediction apah water turiyam 1/4 jagruhu accepted malam the sinful reaction tasu in the water budbuda fenabhyam by bubbles and foam drishtam visible tad that harati one collects kshipan throwing away Transcend purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. And in return for King Indra's benediction that water would increase the volume of other substances with which it was mixed, water accepted 1/4 of the sinful reactions. Therefore, there are bubbles and foam in the water. When one collects water, this should be avoided. Purport: if water is mixed with milk, fruit juice, or other similar substances, it increases their volume, and no one can understand which has increased. In return for this benediction, water accepted 1/4 of Indra's sinful reactions. These sinful reactions are visible in foam and bubbles. Therefore, one should avoid foam and bubbles while drinking water. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतः पदकमलम् श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 9, text number 10. And in return for King Indra's benediction that water would increase the volume of other substances with which it was mixed, water accepted 1/4 of the sinful reactions. Therefore, there are bubbles and foam in water. When one collects water, this should be avoided. So all the four things accepted, the reactions of King Indra's sins, the earth, then the trees and the women, and the land, no, not land, the water. The land, trees, women and water. So they got some benedictions because no one is going to accept unless one is given some favor, some inconvenience. So in the material world, all these transactions happen. Always give and take. Nothing is free in this material world. Sometimes they make a advertisement, buy one, get one free. But we have to understand that it is already, the price is included in that. Or sometimes they may do it just for advertisement to attract customers. But it is never free. There is always some purpose behind it, and the purpose is one's own profit. Selfless service is unknown to conditioned soul in this world. Even they advertise selfless service, but there is also some encashment. If not, at least they want fame, name. They want to be controller, enjoyers. It's not gross, but subtle. Always something one is looking for in this world. Selfless service means to do it out of love. There is nothing one want in return. Which is very difficult to see in this material world. Either people want something in return after some time, after many years, or sometime Vedic follower want next life. But there is always expectations. Expectation is a cause of misery in this material world. Expectation for one's own enjoyment. Asha hi paramam dukkham. Asha means to expect something for one's actions, to enjoy. Asha hi paramam dukkham, nairashera param sukham. Nairasha. Giving up this expectation, one can become peaceful, happy. And one can see by such action the Krishna's love. Krishna's love can be experienced by this process of devotional service. Bhaktya mamapi janati yavan yaschasmi tatvata. Krishna clearly says that one can know me only by devotional service. And as long as one is not having that devotional heart, even if one has great intelligence to analyze various things of this material world, one will not be able to see Krishna's presence in one's life. Only by bhakti, Krishna says clearly. When heart becomes devoid of this fruitive mentality and develops love for Krishna or bhakti, then we can see 24 hours Krishna's presence. How much Krishna is loving me that one feels ashamed that once His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj came to Calcutta, and I remember in his room few devotees were there, and one devotee said, Maharaj, how much you love Radha Govindji here, that you come here so much inconvenience for your health. And he was like saying, how much you love. Maharaj immediately was, not as much they love me. Not as much they love me. So that's how devotees' experience is, that you can see how much Krishna loves me, that I am not doing sufficiently for him. But if there is no devotion in the heart, one takes everything granted. One doesn't see Krishna's love. He is a Krishna who cared for me when I was in the womb of my mother. He made the arrangement for supplying me milk. When I came out, He was the one who made the arrangement to supply me milk from the mother's breast. He is the one who is making the arrangement, that is supplying sunlight, the rains, the food grains, water, everything is giving. And one who has no devotion, he says, everything is by chance, or I deserve it. I have a right for it. There is a question of any mercy here. Everything is taken granted. One has a material desires, that material desires, hankerings, one's mind is absorbed in getting more and more. One is not able to see how much I have received already. Those things are taken granted. In today's world, you can see also children, how ungrateful they become to the parents. They don't take anything. Everything is taken granted. They keep on demanding more and more. Giriraj Maharaj was telling, he is coming from a very rich family. His father was very, very rich. When he joined Hare Krishna movement, there was a newspaper headline came in the newspaper, such and such person's son joins Hare Krishna, only son. So, of course, later on his parents became quite favorable, and then they understood. But at that time, he said, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I saw my sister, he said, she had one big room filled of toys. So many toys she had. So there was a big house, and one big huge room was filled with so many toys. And once they had gone somewhere out, and his sister was crying that I want this particular toy. She was so much crying. And she was like practically demanding the parents, why you are not giving me this? So this is the nature of the person who take the things granted. You can say, that's their duty. Their duty there. Sometimes children say, अगर मुझे इतना तकलीफ देना था क्यों मुझे जन्म दिया? Parents को मुझे ये नहीं दे रहे, वो नहीं दे रहे, है ना. Sometimes people are asked if God, why God has created us, if there are so many troubles in life. When people get frustrated, they say that why God has created so many troubles. So if we change, make a change of our heart, the life is, Krishna has made the life full of happiness for everyone. We are made with Sachidananda. Sachidananda, everybody has that nature. But by misusing our free will, tiny free will, we have acquired this material consciousness and this material body and the material mind, and we have contaminated this mind with so many material desires, material thoughts and ideas, conceptions, with the attitude of pleasure seeking in this material world, egoistic pleasures, lording over, selfish enjoyment, self-centered enjoyment, not caring for others, lust, greed, envy, pride, illusion, anger. So it is misfortune that we have acquired all these things in our consciousness. From time immemorial, practically, we have been in this material world. Difficult to trace out the history of conditioned soul, long back. And we have acquired so many ideas, conceptions, which are contrary to our nature. This material body also is a product of that only. The flesh and bones and mucus and urine and stool, all these things that we have accumulated around us. The soul has nothing to do with this material body. But we become so much proud of this material body also. So when we understand that why should I unnecessarily give trouble to myself and others, become sober. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. Krishna consciousness means to become sober. In this material world, everybody is mad. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarmanaha. Pramatta. Nunam pramatta kurute. That everybody is mad after this material enjoyment. Trying to enjoy different kinds of pleasure. Yesterday I was reading Prabhupada's one conversation. Prabhupada said, even heavenly people also, they are mad after. Mad after this enjoyment. They are devotees, Prabhupada said, great devotees, but they are mad after enjoyment. And those who are, they cannot get out of this material world. Even if they are demigods. That's what Prabhu said. They keep on getting posts like this and keep on enjoying material pleasures. So those who are hankering for post of demigods, they will get going to the heaven. But they cannot get out of the material world. It's a prison house. Only those who practice pure devotional service, they can get out of this material world. Prabhu said, Indra is a great devotee, but he is after material enjoyment. It's a great devotee. So great devotee means he's having great position to manage the universal affairs. But he is after material enjoyment. So which is very difficult to understand. That's why it's very rare. Pure devotees of the Lord are very rare in this world. Muktanam api siddhanam narayana parayana. Sudurlabha Prashantatma. Prashantatma, one who is Prashantatma, that who is peaceful, completely peaceful. Prakrushta Rupene Shanta. Who can be Shanta? One who has given up this material enjoyment. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayeva Shanta. Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashant. Some people are after bhukti, material enjoyment. Some are mukti, liberation. Frustration comes, lot of frustration comes, they want to get liberated. They want to just get liberated from the problems. But they are not given up this enjoying mentality. They just want to get rid of the problems. Mukti. Bhukti, mukti, siddhi. Siddhi means those who want to solve the problem by getting some mystic powers. Like nowadays you can get AI. Mystic power. People want to get more money, more enjoyment. Previously people were having this siddhis. They were much powerful than AI. Anima, Lagima, Prapti. Now also there are siddhis like that. Yogic siddhis are there, but they are very rare. But this previously you'll find the demons like Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha was fighting with Varadev. He had a 3D AI, with all demons coming from different sides, actually coming and attacking Varadev. So many demonesses and so many demons right on the battlefield. And he disappeared when he was fighting. It was not just a screen illusion, it was actual realities. Illusion, but it's a reality is appearing 3D. And what Varadev was, Varadev manifested his Sudarshan Chakra. It was like many suns glowing at time. And all the Hiranyaksha's illusion was dispelled by that. Sudarshan Chakra's presence. So Hiranyaksha was such powerful, he could lift the whole earth and throw it into the ocean. Not lift, but he extracted so much of gold from there. Earth lost the balance. So mystic powers. Not that sitting down and doing something on the screen and getting some sense of illusion, I am doing something great. They could manipulate the whole universal affairs and by their mystic powers. In a very, very powerful way. Who are we in comparison with those people? Hiranyakashipu's powers were that he could maybe have so much difficulty putting AC here, so much of cost. There was so much of discussion happen back and forth whether we really should go for this AC or then setup cost, maintenance cost, electricity cost. And Hiranyakashipu would just command, I want this temperature throughout my city. And there were no such complicated machines. A demigod controlling temperature was on his fingertip, we say. Not fingertip, just by saying it. He could order it. Well, everything, there are personalities behind everything in this material world. Now you order something in the Google, by speaking, to search out things. What is the value of this order? To get some information, that's all. But he could order the demigod, actually execute the things. But what was the result of all those powers? His mind was restless, completely restless. Now also people's mind is becoming restless with this powerful machine. They are absorbed in watching these mobiles, all these screens changing, and their minds are very, very restless. Kali Yuga people mind are already restless because of previous sinful activities. Now this too much absorption in the machine, making minds more restless. disturbed minds. So bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, sakale, ashant, disturbed, restless. Because we are looking for some enjoyment through these machines or through some material endeavors, the mind has to become restless always. First canto of Bhagavatam, it says that. So, unless one is absorbing one's mind in glorifying the Lord, everything in this world created by Maya, there are different forms, different names. They will simply disturb the mind. They will react each other. One 5.14. Anything that you may have desired to describe under separate vision, apart from that of the Lord, will react in different forms and names and result in oscillating the mind like the boat disturbed by the wind, which cannot have any place to rest. This is a Narad Muni's talk to Vedas. Anything that you may have desired to describe under the separate vision, apart from that of the Lord, will react in different forms and names and result in oscillating the mind like a boat disturbed by the wind, which cannot have any place to rest. So there is no resting for the mind, so it's restless always. Everybody's mind is restless. And you can see varieties. People are having something little bit with them and they are thinking, let me have something else than this. There are people who are having crores of rupees getting, their minds are restless. I have met some people who are in America, are earning practically in crores. They are so disturbed in their lives because they have some other problems or they have some other expectations. They have some more wanting things in their lives. And there are people who are earning maybe like running the family with 10,000, 15,000 rupees. They think if I get 1,000 rupees more, I'll be more happy. Their whole mind is absorbed in that. If I get 1,000 or 2,000 rupees extra, then I will be better happy. But they are running their family, it's not that family is not running. And there are people who are earning lakhs of rupees, crores of rupees, they also have the same. In fact, they have more than these people sometimes. If you observe all kinds of people, everybody has. You tell me one person who says, now I have enough God in my life. So as long as our minds are absorbed in material life, they will always be restless. These things only will react. Different forms and different names. See, these principles are so vital principles. The Maya may keep on changing forms. It's something comes new in the market and everybody's mind is again oscillating or diverted to the things. Now something new is going to happen. And there is always a propaganda now, something new is going to happen. And everybody is watching it, what is going to happen. And people were having British rule, everybody was thinking now, when will we get rid of these Britishers? And when India got independence, everybody was watching what is going to happen. Nothing happened much. Whatever happened was Many aspects worse than what was happening before. So every time the same new change happens and people are simply watching it. Something is going to happen now new. Then the computer era, computer industrialization started. People are thinking now something new is going to happen. So now people are always dissatisfied. They were looking for something new. So those who are really intelligent, those who understand the basic principle of this material existence, that this material existence is against my original nature, spiritual nature. Instead of making so many adjustment and plan in this material world to enjoy, if I can change my heart, change of the heart is required. Yesterday we were discussing about this. Those who are changing their hearts, they don't try to change in this material world anything externally much. They are not waiting for that change happening, something outside. So the devotees don't much expect that if these things are happening, change in outside world, then something is going to happen to me great. Material change is not going to make any much difference. This change of the heart, spiritual change, that will make difference. So because we don't have that faith, Prabhupada said there is always people want to change things. Even in our organization, Prabhupada said, people keep on, new manager comes, he makes so many changes. Some construction, new things, breaking and making. And Prabhupada said, there is no need to change things. Already they are there, if you follow them properly. But people get bored with the spiritual things. There also they want some change. Why the same mantra so long? Something new. Hare Kṛṣṇa mantra, live and something new mantra, then everybody is excited. Oh, new mantra has come now. Instead of chanting name of Krishna, you chant name of something else. Then there is excitation. So this is material world. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given Hare Kṛṣṇa Maha mantras to chant. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they never spoke about new mantras. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisaran Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Gaurakrishna Babaji Maharaj. But then, why there is so much talk? Because the tendency is that we want something new. New offer coming in the market immediately. So and that's how the conditioned soul, when get frustrated with one body, is looking for a new body now, another body. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maiya ki jai. And when you get new body, you'll find small puppies or the piglets. They're so enthusiastic, shaking their tails, or even kitten. You see, although they don't understand, it's such a humiliation for the soul to get this material body against nature. But they are so happy now, something is new going to happen. So material desires means one is looking always for some change, and he gets something new increment in salary, new promotion comes. Everything you feel so excited about it. But how long you feel excited? In Maharashtra they say the Navyache Nau Divas. New thing comes, the happiness lasts only for maximum 9 days. 9 days, again you get bored with things. Something new dress, new things. You see all this small, anything newborn, they are very, very enthusiastic. But after some they get old. There is one old cat who is moving around. Seen that old cat? This is a male cat, very grey looking, and he is a small thing. They are like dancing. They have got new bodies now. And old people become very grave. The soul is always young, but then he get into all these phases of life, and then is looking for now new change. When I will get up this old body and get another body. Although the fear of death is always there, nobody wants to die, but they are expecting that there is something new to happen. So the various kinds of benedictions we are looking for in this world to change, something change. But along with the benedictions, by nature of this material world comes also the sufferings. Every pleasure has the other side is misery, that we don't see it. यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुख यौनय एवति. Samsparshaja bhoga. Krishna says that any pleasure of this material world, samsparsha, bhoga means the material pleasure. Samsparshaja, the material senses coming in contact with sense objects. It is a misery, birthplace of misery. So here also these four things are given some benediction by Indra. So they are getting some certainly pleasure. All these pleasures are there. The pleasure for the women, pleasure for the trees, pleasure for the land, and pleasure for the water. But then along with that there is also the suffering. They have to accept. Nothing comes free. There is no absolute enjoyment in this material world. The absolute happiness only on spiritual platform. When one is into the consciousness of loving service, then there is a continuous happiness without stoppage. There is no question of misery on the spiritual platform. Even apparent miserable situations also are happy experiences. If somebody is experiencing great separation from Kṛṣṇa, it looks like he is very miserable. Like Gopi is experiencing that separation. Or Yashoda Mai Nanda Maharaj experiencing great separation when Kṛṣṇa was out of Vrindavan. But that is very happy experience of the heart, because they are intensely remembering Kṛṣṇa. In this material world, it is very miserable experience. But on spiritual platform, it's very, very strong. That remembrance gives spiritual happiness in the heart. So everything is happy experience there. There is nothing miserable there. Because there is love and there is a mood of service in that love. In this world, there is separation. Separation is because one is looking for enjoyment, and that enjoyment is not getting. So that's a feeling of separation. Like a drunkard is not getting liquor to drink. It feels very great separation. But that hankering or the waiting for that is not getting is very miserable experience. But on spiritual platform, it's a very blissful experience in the heart. One is remembering Kṛṣṇa more and more. So if one gives up this expectation for one's own enjoyment and is always thinking about how I can render service in every situation, then one's happiness no one can take away. His Because service to Krishna, that's the perfection of life. Giving up this self-centered enjoying mentality, one is thinking about how I can serve Krishna in every situations in my life. Rather than trying to change, usually people try to change the circumstances, things around them, people, expectations. But Krishna consciousness means you change yourself internally, you don't depend on anybody changing. You can be happy in every situation. Because Krishna is the one who perfectly reciprocates with devotee who has a pure heart. The devotee doesn't have to look anywhere else the happiness, pleasure. Just like there is a saying that if honeybee comes near one tree called Parijat, and Parijat tree has such fragrant flowers. It's a tree found in the spiritual world or in heaven. Prabhupada writes in purport. Parijate anjasa loke labdhe saranga anyana sevate. Saranga means honeybee. That the honeybee doesn't go anywhere else. Anyana sevate. Anya means another. It doesn't leave the tree. Similarly, one who has taken the shelter of the Supreme Lord doesn't go anywhere else. And Prabhupada writes because the tree can give such wonderful experience to honeybee, continuous supply of honey. So much honey is there in the Parijat flower that there is no need to go anywhere. Similarly, a devotee who takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, there is such experience that the devotee doesn't need to go anywhere else, doesn't feel the need to go anywhere else. Else, in this material world, people are simply changing these material bodies and situations, and then sometimes they want to stay together, but material nature is always breaking things. In hallucinated states, sometimes people say, we'll stay together for lifelong and maybe next life and life after life. That is, I was reading yesterday the conversation or the something about this John Lennon and or Beatles meeting Prabhupada. So this John Lennon and Yoko. So of course they helped in the beginning devotees a lot, but later on they had difficulties with devotees. Because they were taking heroin or whatever is some drugs and everything. And in that state, they were trying to experience spiritual things by their own. So they came to Prabhupada that, is it possible, Swamiji, you are a mystic? Can we stay together, continue staying together in the next life also? Prabhupada was not very happy with this question. Prabhupada said, that is not my business. This material world doesn't allow anybody to stay together, he said. So, next life, next partner, everything will be new. And that's not a goal of life, that you just go on living for material pleasures. It's not possible. Material nature will separate eventually everything. Everything will separate apart. And then Prabhupada said, you can stay together only in spiritual world. If you go back to spiritual world, then you can stay together. In material world, we cannot stay together. It will be broken apart after some time. So what we are looking for happiness, real happiness, is possible only when we understand Vaikuntha consciousness, entering in the kingdom of God, spiritual world. There all happiness, enjoyment is there, real enjoyment in the kingdom of God. When you don't have any expectation for your own self and simply want to render service to Krishna with love, then one can see his incessant flow of wonderful experience in one's life. But conditioned soul has got somehow other taste for enjoying this pleasure, intoxicated with this lording over tendency, material nature. If we give up that and develop a desire to serve, just like somebody has got the taste for liquor. Why liquor taste? Because in liquor you become mad. I am so great. you forget everything else. You take intoxication, then you are in a very hallucinated state. I am so great. This Prabhupada said, why you want to be such a great person? you become a servant of Krishna, you can become greater by that. you know, this hallucinated experience of being great in this material world. You won't want to get bigger and bigger positions of Brahma or Indra. It's also hallucinated state. How long this position will go on? And one becomes intoxicated by those positions and commit oftentimes offenses to the great souls. You can see. Now Indra, he offended the Vishwarup, then he offends again Brahaspati, he offends, kills Vatrasur. When you are having powers and without devotional service in the heart, one is bound to offend others out of pride. So devotee becomes very alert about this. Why should I want to hanker for these powers without purification of my heart? Of course, if you purify the heart, then you will not hanker at all. But you can handle the powers if they are required. It's dangerous to handle any kinds of powers when our greed and envy and lust is there in our heart more and more, especially hankering for such powers. Hankering means one will not be able to see purification, one just wants those things. And then they destroy. You can see people who are having great powers, what has happened in the end to them. But still everybody is mad after powers in this way. Krishna Bhakta Nishkama Atayava Shanta. Krishna Bhakta naturally becomes material desireless. He understands that material desires is a cause of misery. Dukkha yonaya evate. The desire to enjoy Lord over in the material world is a cause of all miseries in one's life. Dukkha yoni matlab birthplace of misery. Variety is the mother of enjoyment, you say. Variety, right? Variety is the mother of enjoyment. And Krishna is saying, enjoyment is mother of suffering. Dukkha yone evate. Yehi sansar se bhoga, dukkha yone evate. That bhoga, enjoyment, is a mother of suffering. Dukkha yoni. Yoni matlab, from there the birth takes place. Dukkha yone evate. So variety is the mother of enjoyment in this material world, people think. And that may be true, that you get some enjoyment. People want varieties. Everywhere they want varieties. But sometimes too many varieties also confuse person. Too many things come on your plate. Yesterday's conversation, there was a discussion like that. Too many fruits on your plate confuse you. What to take and what not to take. So variety is the mother of enjoyment and enjoyment is the mother of suffering. And that's why some people get so frustrated with this variety. They want to become varietyless, Mayavaris. They want to get rid of all the varieties and want to make everything one. Sometimes we want to do administration management, we want to make rules. Because it becomes easier. Everybody should get this. Everybody should do this. And sometimes we want to curtail the people's freedom to get our things done easily. Right? Because handling too many varieties becomes difficult. Like this, Prabhupada told, they asked once Prabhupada, in Gurukul, how many chapatis we should give to the children? That give 3-4 chapatis. So they made a rule that every child should eat only 3-4 chapatis. Any extra chapati? No. Prabhupada said no. Because they had difficulties, children eating more chapatis probably. So they want to make everything one. Rule one. Becomes easier for them. It's true that it can help, but ultimately everything want to become Mayavadis want to become everything one, because they are frustrated with the varieties. And then the quote also, Gita is saying this: variety is the mother of enjoyment, or enjoyment is the mother of suffering. So no enjoyment, no senses, no activities, no varieties. So our efforts in this material world are frustrated, then people want to, what they want to do? They want to finish everything and become void. That's a Buddhist philosophy and Mayavad philosophy. But there is a variety with enjoyment real in spiritual world. Prabhupada says that. In spiritual world there is unlimited variety. And there is unending enjoyment also, which is not resulting in sufferings. But how to access that variety and that enjoyment is by giving up enjoying mentality and developing service attitude, seva. If you want to become really servant of Krishna with love, not that servant means, okay, now I'll serve and later on I'll enjoy. Not like that. Janme Janme Prabhu say, always serving. And in that service consciousness, you will find the real happiness and real enjoyment is coming continuously. When you are not planning for it, not expecting for it, you will find happiness coming in your life. When you love someone, or love Krishna, love devotees. And this fruitive mentality is just against this principle of pure love. Because when you are expecting something for your own self, where is the question of love? And all your activities are becoming like business. I did so much, what I got in the return. And expectation is the cause of sufferings. Krishna has been doing it so long, always, selflessly. So pure devotees, when they act, they don't have any expectations. So one should look for such experience, such people. They are there. What Srila Prabhupada has done for us, no expectations he had from us. If we understand his love, which he has, expressed in the form of such a wonderful moment, his books, his teachings, and if we just reciprocate with to his desire, what he wanted us to do. If we really express our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada by reciprocating with the same selflessness what he has done for us, then we can experience his more and more love and his mercy in the life. But if we are absorbed in our again sense gratification more and more, then it's difficult to see that. Difficult to see Krishna's grace, Srila Prabhupada's grace, mercy coming in our lives. Then we take things granted, even in a spiritual organization, we take things granted. We don't realize. Then this give and take goes on. That's what we find here. You want to exchange something to get something for one's own enjoyment. And ultimately, little bit happiness a person gets, businessman, when he gets more profit. But then hankering for more and more profit. In today's world, you will find there are no business ethics also. People just want to extract more and more things. Because there is no inner satisfaction. Always wanting more and more and more. And when the businessman sees that somebody is in need, then they want to exploit their customers. I mean, at all they follow ethical laws is only, again, so that their business goes on running and goes on expanding. In today's world, most of the places business ethics are followed because out of fear of not losing their credibility, not losing their future profit. Otherwise, who is ready to follow this business ethics also? You can see how this sometime back this airline companies, when there was some problem with the airlines particular company, and then their flight were cancelled, people were charging, other companies are charging like anything. I was just that day somebody wanted to go to, we were seeing the flight from here to Pune, Bombay, 45,000 rupees. I was not knowing the background. I said maybe some mistake happened. And I am seeing London flight or something. Then it was really Bombay flight was 45,000, 48,000. And government had to put some cap. Given a chance, people will want to exploit because they knew that people are in need now. 600, 800 flight, 900 flights are cancelled. Now just let us exploit as much as we can exploit. This is nature. Material world has its nature. Where is the question of service, seva, sacrificing their own lives, pleasures, comforts for the other's sake? Krishna consciousness, what we have been given, Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas have been such role models that they have practiced life like this, which is very rare to see in this material world. Somebody is practicing the pure life. They have given us pure teachings and they have given their own such pure example. So these people should become our role models. We want to become like them, pure-hearted. Or the Bhagavatam characters, different characters, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, such great personalities. Their lives should become role models. Parishit Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Arjuna, or Kunti Maharani, Devotee Mataji. Such great personalities these are. They have lived such a selfless life, loving Krishna. So that's the original consciousness of every spirit soul in his pure state. Somehow or other we have fallen in this material world. Now our foremost duty is to endeavor to come to that consciousness back. That's what human life is meant for. There is no other purpose of human life. All other purposes are because of our uncontrolled mind and senses, we have to respond to them. But the real purpose is just to upgrade our consciousness to Krishna consciousness, pure Krishna consciousness. Anybody has question to ask? Comment? Any?
This verse is nothing but like special. It says it has only information regarding it.
Huh?
This verse, only information kind of thing is there. It will nicely explain the expectation from expectation.
Haribol. Yes.
People believe in the sense like
People?
And they use machines to become more educated. What should they
Use as much as minimum required for your job purpose or something. If you try to go beyond that, then there will be more agitation in the mind. You can see whether you can manage without that as much as possible. Oftentimes it's seen that the results are better, you minimize the work. Srila Prabhupada, he utilized machines wherever is required, but certain machines he never utilized at his times, although they were giving better facilities. Telephone, telex, they were there at that time, they just coming up. Right? Prabhupada managed the whole organization without telephone much. He utilized telephone, but more he utilized letters. One lecture Prabhupada is saying that in India, if somebody wanted to get telephone, usually they had to wait for 2 years and pay huge. If you want little early, then you have to pay huge money. And in America, I just paid $50 and I got a telephone in my room. And I was initially very happy, Prabhupada said. Telephone has come. But in India, it's very rare to get those times. And then what happened, Prabhupada said? Somebody called me in the middle of night, 12 o'clock. Ring, ring, Prabhupada said. So, Swamiji, how are you? Prabhupada said, is this a time to ask? Simply disturbance. And next day I told, get out this phone from my room. So, Prabhupada didn't want that disturbance. But we like to be disturbed. If there are no SMS coming or no WhatsApp coming, we keep on saying it. Somebody has sent or not. The Prabhupada managed a worldwide organization, 108 centers, without phone. And that time phone was there. Some places utilized phone. Personal phone was, Prabhupada didn't like it. 11 years, only 11 years. Within that, so many people were inspired and communications happening also. So we didn't. So we have to see practically how much is really required. And you can utilize that as much minimum possible so that our minds are not simply disturbed. Why so much information is required in life? That people keep on watching it, what is happening in Iraq, Iran, or is America, Iran. Just know that, okay, war is happening, that's all. Why details are to be known so much? People are so much about information, and they just fill their minds with their information. What is the practical utility of so much information for the common man? Previously, Kshatriyas would fight. Common man would not come to know all this. Kurukshetra war is going on much. They want to update every moment what is happening. Live. Instead of living with Bhagavatam, they are live. They are unnecessarily agitating their minds. And they keep on talking about that, what America should do and what Iran should do and what Indian Prime Minister should do. So they get some egoistic pleasure of giving advice to someone. This Prime Minister would have done like this, would have been better. But what is the practical utility of that advice? Useless. Useless waste of time. Sometimes our devotees keep on watching. So much time spending on watching all those things. And we should be aware what is happening in politics. Some awareness is fine, but how much is that awareness that you don't have to go on digging into the whole things, what is happening? And life is not going to. Sometimes for preaching sake you need something, just fine. But how much you want to know? Principles you know very thoroughly. All details you can just ask people what is it. Radhanath Swami Maharaj was telling that when he went for preaching first time in some college or school, 5 years he was living in the farm, that New Vrindavan farm, more than 5 years I think probably. He was not aware about the world, what is happening in the world. So he went to the class, and then he was speaking in the class, and if you don't take your human life very seriously, the danger at every step, anytime we can be drafted to the Vietnam War. And then he mentioned also this President Nixon. And after he spoke to the class, then person asked questions. He said, why you are talking about Vietnam War? Vietnam War ended 10 years back or 5 years back. Maharaj said, really? It's very good news. And President Nixon was president 10 years back, something like that. So Maharaj said, I was completely cut off from the whole world for so many years. But I was so happy serving cows, serving deities and serving devotees. Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan. That really didn't bother in my life, what is happening in the world. In America I was staying. So we sometimes keep on adding so many things in there because everybody around is asking us. But we need to really think about what is the need, deeply about it. Why the small children need mobiles now? They're wasting their time so much. Recently one family came to meet me and they're saying that they wanted to avoid mobile as much as possible just so that the child doesn't get any bad impressions. Because his parents are using, we also want to use. How much damaging children's consciousness, these machines.